What's up, everybody? This is Emmanuel live at South by Southwest EDU with Philly Goes to College, and I'm here with Reagan.
Hi, I'm Raegan Revord. I live in Los Angeles, and I'm going to be on a panel about books, media, and entrepreneurship.
All right, Reagan, let's get into this. Just doing a little research on you and seeing that you're just about to release a book.
Yeah.
Let's give you some space to talk about that book, what it means to you, why you decided to release this right now.
So it's called Rules for Fake Girlfriends, and it's a queer YA rom-com about a girl who flies to England after her mother passes away and meets a girl there and agrees to start a whole fake dating scheme to try to figure out a scavenger hunt. And I think it's really important because I think queer stories are even more important right now than ever. And I also think it's not just about the story being a queer story, it's just about a girl who is finding out who she is and what she wants with her life. And I think that's really important.
Awesome. How'd you get into writing? What made you start it? Was it something in school? Was it something natural that happened to you? How'd you get into all of this?
So it was actually my parents because whenever I literally from I like to joke on the car ride home from the hospital when I was born, they were reading to me. Literally they had a book out at all times. And so I've always been a big reader. And then whenever I was 5 years old, I started writing American Girl doll books. It was fan fiction before fan fiction was a thing, and I would write American Girl doll superhero stories.
Wow.
And so I kind of started writing with that, and then when I was around 11, I actually was I actually kind of want to write professionally and be an author and publish books and stuff.
Right.
And so I got a book agent and I started writing, and then probably 3 years ago now, I had an idea for a YA rom-com, and I brought it to my book agent, and he was like, this is great, let's do this.
Wow.
And so then I wrote an outline with an amazing writing mentor that I have, and I sent it out to publishing companies, and then I got with the publishing company that I'm at now, Macmillan, and it has been so cool and literally a dream come true, and it is so exciting, and every once in a while I'll be like, I'm publishing a book. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and kind of lose my mind over it.
Yeah, that's very dope. Speaking about you publishing a book, you're really excited about this. There's some students out there that are like, hey, I want to do the same thing and may not know what to do. You mentioned mentorship. You mentioned just having a passion. It sounds like you had support from your family. If you could just drop some wisdom to somebody like your age, someone younger than you, who's thinking the same thing but not sure how to put the pieces together, what would you say to them?
Literally what you just said. Whenever I first started writing, I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I found a writing mentor through my book agent, and she helped me so much because I didn't know the publishing world at all. I didn't know how to write an outline. I didn't know how to get with the publishing company. And so she taught me so much, and just having someone to run ideas by
Right.
and just brainstorm is so amazing.
Yes, it is.
And so just finding someone who can help guide you through the process, and this applies to really any aspects in life, not just publishing a book really,
True.
but just having someone to guide me through the first steps of publishing a book was so helpful.
Yeah, that's a fact. I like to use the term thought partnership.
Yes.
You have somebody that can help you think through things and come up with ideas. Let's riff a little bit more on thought partnership because you do a lot of things. You know, you're on TV, you're writing books, you're speaking on panels. If you could think of it how important has it been for you during your journey navigating all these things, mentors and thought partners and things like that? If you could just speak to the importance of that to students who might see people around them but not know how to access them to get the help they need.
I mean, I had some amazing mentors from Young Sheldon because, when I started the show, I was 8 or 9, and I'd never done acting classes. I never, been professionally trained for acting or anything.
Right.
And so I learned a lot just from the mentors I had on Young Sheldon, just the actors and just even the crew. I learned so much, not even just about acting, but how to just be a good person. And so they taught me so much. But so if you're a student, teachers are an amazing mentor. My teachers, before I started homeschooling, they were such important mentors to me. I'm going to be the cliche person. I loved my English teacher so much. I have to say it. I had an amazing English teacher. Exactly. Yeah. And then my tutor on Young Sheldon, I was with her for 7 years, and she is such an important role model to me, and she taught me so much. And so I think teachers are a really good mentor that is pretty easily accessible for students.
True. All right, so I was mentioned, asked you before about you have your hands in different things. How are you balancing it, or how are you finding balancing over this?
I've had to learn a lot about time management
Okay.
because I don't have good time management and I
Mm.
procrastinate a lot.
Mm.
But so having like writing the book and being on set and being in school, like I definitely had to learn. I think managing it all is like having a good support system
Mm.
and like people who can be there if you're ever struggling to like balance it,
Mm.
like having people who can be there and like help guide you and support you. And then also I've learned balancing it, do not disturb, don't check those notifications because you will go off on a tangent and forget to work. I've learned it the hard way.
Yeah, yeah,
You start
yeah.
scrolling on like social media and then like
Right.
you're like, "Oh my god, an hour has passed. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a
god."
fact. That's a fact.
Do not disturb saves lives and saves your time management.
That's a fact. Do not disturb is real. It's a real
Mm-hmm.
thing. You talked about social media, so that brings me to something else. You use social media a lot to help you share your books and ideas with others. How do you think books and social media can work together to help more people discover new voices and stories?
I think it's really important because, I mean, this is also within like the past few years
Right.
because, 6 years ago, book talk wasn't as big of a thing as it is now.
Mm.
But I really think it's important because if there's some small author who publishes a book and then like a ton of people post about this book and they go big, that can help some small author launch their book because a ton of people are seeing it. And so I think it's really important because it helps uplift books and authors who might not have been uplifted beforehand.
Yeah, that's amazing. Speaking about social media, you have utilized your platform to put people on the things that they may not have known about before, and you found a way to really leverage social media for the better
Yeah.
for folks. Can you speak to students out there that maybe like they're using social media, but they could use social media in a more impactful way?
I mean, I think social media has the power to be good or bad because, like, it can be, like how I said with Do Not Disturb, it can be super addictive
Yes.
where you're, like, scrolling for an hour. And so instead of, like, maybe scrolling for an hour, you could help by, like, finding a bunch of books that you like and, like, helping push it. Or, like, if there's, like, a smaller author who you think deserves, like, people should be reading whatever book they just released, like, maybe, like, post a video or something, or even, like, reposting a video of like an author's book or something
Right.
goes so far
True.
because even your friends will see that repost and be like, "Oh, my friend reposted this, like this must be a good book."
Yeah, that's a
And then
fact.
it helps like uplift that story and that author.
Facts. What is it like being a young entrepreneur out here?
That's interesting because I feel like I would never have considered myself an entrepreneur,
Right.
but I don't know. I mean, I think it's interesting because the entrepreneur would be the book club, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
And I never really meant for it to be like such
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And like whenever I started it like 6 years ago, which is crazy to think about, because I started it before COVID and that's insane. Like I really was like, I'm just going to show people what I'm reading. Like they can just, if they want, like see what book I want like once a month, like
Right.
see whatever I'm reading.
Right.
Because people would ask me like, oh, what are you reading? And I'm like, let's show people.
Right.
And so it was such a small thing, and now it's become like such an important part of my life.
Right.
And like having such like a kind, like dedicated community who
Yeah.
like tune in every month and are like so like faithful to it and so interested is so cool. But I think to answer your question, the craziest part of it is like it's interesting because I never meant for it to happen, but I'm so grateful that it did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to go with the flow. We were just speaking with somebody earlier, and we were talking about going with the flow, like going with, he was using the word going with the sails, because when you're going through uncharted waters, the sails is what you could depend on to get you straight through all the
I like
turbulence and
that.
everything that's going on. Yeah.
Ooh.
So when you're thinking about your journey, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? It's like, even though it wasn't meant for that to happen, it still worked out in a good way because you're coming from a good place, right? You're
Yeah.
not like, you don't have no nefarious intentions. You're just literally trying to put people onto some books and help people read more.
Exactly.
I had a question around how important it is for students to stay engaged with reading and literacy. We're living in a day and age where books are becoming,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you read a book, you're a fossil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just let's talk more about what your thoughts are on that, like how students can keep engaged with reading books and the importance of it for people to stay reading, keep them books alive.
I think the importance of continuing reading is because like stories just have such like a power to like open your mind and uplift voices and kind of help you step into someone's shoes that you normally wouldn't have been able to. And so whether it's you read a book about someone who's on the other side of the world or someone who lives in a different world, like you just learn so much, and you can also help relate to people because you might not have understood someone's struggles until you're reading a book through their eyes and like thinking their thoughts. And so you really can see like how one thing might affect someone, and it can make you more like compassionate too.
Yeah, that's true. And going back on the community thing too, like if you're reading certain books, and then that opens up a conversation with people, right? It's like that's another way to bridge that gap, right? Like let's talk about the importance of building community. Right, you're building a platform, you're building community around readers, and what does that mean to you? Like, what is it like? How does it feel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're putting
it's amazing.
people together to do something important, reading. You know what I mean? Let's talk about that. How you feel about that?
It's such an honor. Like I think it was maybe like 4 months ago, I would say, I had someone reply to one of my posts and be like, "Hi, I'm a teacher from London, and I'm using your book club to help like my students kind of like grow a love of reading." And that was crazy to me because you post it online, but you don't normally see the in-person benefit to it. And so hearing a teacher be like, "You're impacting my students for the better because you're helping spread the love of reading," I was like, that's why I started my book club like so long ago. And like it's why I keep doing it. And so seeing the proof of that and seeing that it does have an impact means so much to me. And like it's so cool to see, and it's crazy. It blows my mind.
It's definitely mind blowing to have someone from London say, "Hey, look, this helped me in this way." Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, let's see. All right. Many young people look up to you and want to do something similar. What advice would you give to students who want to follow their passions and maybe even work in acting or writing just like you?
I think going back to finding a mentor really helps. Having someone to uplift you and support you whenever you're trying to start off on something that you aren't really sure about or that is like uncharted waters, like it can be really helpful. I also think following your gut, knowing like whatever passion you have, even if someone is saying like, do something else, like don't follow that, like follow your gut, follow your passion. If you know that you love something, go for it, strive for it. And like in any parts of life, you're going to hear no a lot, but you have to ignore those because those no's will get you to your yes, and it's going to get there. You just have to believe, and you have to follow your gut.
Yeah, that's a fact. She preaching. That's awesome. You use your platform to do good things for others. What's the biggest lessons you've learned from using your voice to make a difference, and how can students get involved in making the world a better place?
I think it's taught me a lot. This is mainly through the book club, is like how we were talking about earlier, like really the power of community. Because like I've just seen such an impact. Like it's gotten to the point where like kids will come over to me and be like, "I started a book club at my school because I saw your book club." And like kids will come up to me and be like, "I found my favorite book because of you." And I remember whenever I was little and I would be like, this book, like, it's gotta be Harry Potter for me. Like Harry Potter, like, is the reason I love reading, and it's the reason like I realized just how important it is. And I think it really, like, it just blows my mind. And like I think that's what's so cool about it is like it really is just like community is what I've learned so much, and just like how from something so small it's become this huge thing that's such a massive part of my life, and apparently it's a part of other people's lives as well, which is kind of crazy. But it's so cool, and it's such an honor, and I'm like so grateful for all of it.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's what happens when you're doing things with good intention. The universe will reward you accordingly. You know what I mean? So,
exactly.
yeah, keep doing your thing. It's awesome, amazing. We're gonna get to some quick fire questions real quick to close this out. Okay, what's your most favorite memory or most impactful moment that you've had that just comes to mind when you think about this book club? Outside of the teacher from London,
Oh, okay. I don't know, the Teacher from London's always what I go to,
Yeah,
because that
that's
really
your
is
go-to.
like,
That's your go-to.
that's like really what,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't, it might have been, I had this like little kid come over once. I think I was actually in a bookstore looking at a book, and I had a kid come over and be like, I think it was something like, my mom showed me your book club or something, and like, it's probably like a 8-year-old or something. He was like, my mom like showed me your book club, and like I was like looking at your books, and like I read this book, and it really changed how I view reading and stuff, and it made it less of a chore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry right here. Like it really,
Yeah, that's powerful.
like I love that, because like reading shouldn't be a chore,
No,
and it
no.
should be fun.
Yes.
And so the fact that I got to contribute to that meant so much.
Yes, that's great. If you think about one book that a high school student should read right now, what would that be?
It's called Midnight Library. It is such a good book. I love it so much, and it's a great story about mental health, but it also makes it like, it's a heavy book, but it's also a beautiful book. You will cry reading it, so like read it when you're ready, because it's a really good book, but it's really sad, and it's so beautiful, and I have reread it so many times, and I always recommend this book. It's so good. You should read it too. Everyone should read it. I love this book. Midnight Library.
All right, last thing I'll say. If you could say one thing to your younger self, what would that be?
Oh, I think believe in yourself more.
Okay.
I think especially because COVID, I was like very introverted, and so I kind of was like more shy and like like insecure more.
Right.
And so I was like, believe in yourself more. Just know you're doing good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. That's great. Well,
12-year-old me needs to hear that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Speak to it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Reagan.
Thank you so much. That was so much fun. Thank you.
Yes.